Honestly, you're so mature, it's actually embarrassing.
All right, cool, but...
Next.
Some.
Anything else?
I know.
Hey, come on, man.
I haven't been second choice like 3 times, innit, so...
That is.
Did you hear what he just said?
What?
He said, say that again. What did he say?
Go on, what?
Jess, what did he say?
Go on, say it, go on. Go on, say it.
I said you're the one that's been second choice like 3 times, innit, so...
She's first choice now, though, brother.
Yeah, she is.
Honestly, fuck you, Kieran, generally.
You wish.
Well, the thing is, it's tit for tat. People give it and people take it, so it is what it is. You give it, you've got to be able to take it. Sometimes people say things that aren't very nice.
Babe, no, because I'm not being funny, she's crying.
Woo!
Can you still be a high-value woman if you've been promiscuous in your past? This is a sad question. I think there's so many people in the red pill community that are saying, oh, if you're not a virgin, then you're worthless as a woman, which is ridiculous. You guys probably know I'm not a fan of promiscuity. I think it's damaging to men and women, but I think it's particularly damaging to women. I know some women will be promiscuous when they're younger and then grow up and regret it. And I would say, forgive yourself like you would forgive a friend. There's no point in carrying that around with you, and it's not tied to your worth at all. If you're a human and you make mistakes, then you identify the mistake and you try and fix it. And you try to become the person that you admire. And that's all anybody can do. And if there are people in your life saying something makes you worthless, get rid of those people. Stop listening to the red pill stuff because it's not tied to your worth. Just try to be better every day and try not to repeat things that make you feel bad or that hurt you.
Hi, I am Samuel.
Hi, I am Mark. Welcome to Protective Perspective.
If you're tired of the games, the lies, and the heartbreak,
You're in the right place.
here, we don't just talk, we confront the brutal truth of modern relationships.
It's time to wake up, take charge, and reclaim your power.
Let's dive in.
Problem with a lot of marriages isn't that they've fallen out of love. The problem is they've stopped serving each other. When you're dating, all dating is you serving them. You're so happy to do whatever they want to do. You don't complain. You don't gripe about taking out the trash. You take out the trash with a smile on your face. What you're doing is you're serving each other. If you aren't careful, the longer you stay together, the lazier you will become. And what happens in a lot of marriages, you're not getting the service that you want at home, so you start looking like, oh man, he is so cute at work. Oh man, she is so amazing at work. What you're doing is you're looking outside your marriage for something that you're not getting at home. The key to great marriages is serving each other. It's not just serving each other to get each other to sign the contract. It's continuing to serve each other throughout your marriage.
What's a high-value woman?
A woman who knows her worth and knows she can do better than that, because there are men out there that aren't gonna want to see a whole bunch of women at one time.
But what determines a woman's worth?
I think a woman determines her own value.
See, that's the difference between men and women. Like, a man can't just determine their value. The world dictates how valuable you are.
The marketplace, you're saying.
Right. Like, women could just make up how valuable she is in her head and then just assume that the world should follow that. But we can't operate like that. Imagine if I said like that, I'm just worth that. Like, why? Because I believe it. Everybody would think that I'm delusional, but women can believe that.
I don't know. I think as a woman, you need to hold yourself to a certain standard to get the respect that you want.
Some men are straight up baffled by the modern circus that feminism has turned into. They're looking around like, wait, what happened to the playbook, the old school? Tried and true gender roles that kept the world running for generations are now seen as outdated apparently. Expecting men to be providers and women to be caregivers is offensive in 2024. Who knew? Now, women are out here chasing careers, independence, and stacking degrees like they're Pokemon cards. But here's the kicker: this so-called empowerment has left a lot of men thinking, what's my role in this game now? We've gone from a world where things made sense, men provided, women nurtured, the family thrived, to one where it's all mixed signals and chaos. 1 minute, men are supposed to be sensitive, soft, and in touch with their feelings. The next minute, they're supposed to be strong, but not too strong, whatever that means. Men are left scratching their heads, asking, what do women actually want? They used to want a guy who could protect and provide, but now they seem to want everything and nothing at the same time.
My stepdad was my top subscriber on my naughty website.
Now, I know what you're all thinking. Oh, stepdad fantasy, could have made content from it, blah, blah, blah. This man had been in my life since I was 11 years old and spent $2,000 on custom content every single video that I sent out. When I caught him, he denied it to all of his friends, and obviously my mum got rid of him straight away. But yeah, if you want to talk about family trauma, my stepdad watched me have sex with my partner for 2 months. Here is the custom content that my stepdad was requesting on my naughty site. Like I said in a previous video, we messaged every single day on the website, and he would make requests almost every single day.
Every day? This gives a whole new meaning to every day I'm suffering.
One of them was to see the underwear that I was wearing every day. At the time, I was working still, so I was out of the house 5 days a week, and he would ask for pictures in the bathroom or the change rooms of wherever I was. He also requested that when I was filming solo content at home, that I would not do it in the bathroom or in the shower. He always wanted it to be on my bed or on the floor of my bedroom, which, mind you, he had access to this room every single day.
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of
Have you
all,
done that?
I do it every day. First of all, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right. So you don't want to be a woman.
I just
No,
let
you don't
talk.
want to
I
be
just
a
let you
woman.
talk. Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you.
And you're yelling.
All this, I cook and I clean and yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an
saying.
oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
This whole women chasing careers and independence trend? Yeah, it's turning relationships into a battlefield. Men and women are out here trying to play by rules that keep changing. And it's no surprise that it's causing chaos. The old balance where men took care of business and women handled the home has been thrown out the window. Now, you've got both sides trying to juggle careers, household responsibilities, and family life. And guess what? Neither side is happy. It's like trying to have your cake, eat it, and somehow bake another one at the same time. Spoiler alert. It's a mess. And the fun doesn't stop there. Men are starting to notice that all this empowerment has brought a new wave of unrealistic expectations into relationships. Women want a man who's a CEO, a Michelin star chef, a therapist, and he better look like a Greek god while he's doing all that. Meanwhile, guys are out here thinking, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be all that, and also do half the housework. It's no wonder the whole thing is collapsing.
I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to find someone that makes them happy. I want everybody to live a beautiful life that they want for themselves. I don't wish ill on anybody, but I can't stand the delusion. Now we all got to sit here and we got to be like, oh yeah, this is great. You know, this is somebody who could get 95% of guys. And imagine going through life with that sense of delusion. Like, we see it, and this is an extreme example, but when women walk around like that, imagine walking around thinking, I could get 95% of guys. How many guys are you telling no to because you think you're better than them? Are you? Or is it in your head? Just think about it. If you don't want to wind up alone, you have to have a realistic assessment of what you bring to the table, of your looks, of your capabilities, of what you're willing to do in a relationship, of your character. All of it.
In Germany, if you did not know, it's really common here for when two people go on a first date that they split the bill. So like the woman pays her portion and the man pays his portion. And the other thing about that is that on the date, you're only going to pay for what you consume. So let's say I got a margarita for $8 and he just got water, free water. When the total bill comes out, it's very common for the man or whoever to be like, hey, I didn't drink that margarita, so I don't want to split it like that. I want to pay for what I ate. So I went to the internet to try to figure out why is it like this, you know, because this is not like how it is in America. It's very different. And apparently I can't read because I can't come to understand why. So you telling me you asked me out on a date. You told me I was beautiful. You invited me out to dinner. You're telling me how much you want to marry me and you want me to have your first children. And you tell me when the waiter comes out with the bill, after you said you was going to build a house with your own bare hands for me, and the waiter comes out with the bill and you look at me like this. So are you going to pay? What?
Men always just want virgins that hadn't had sex with anyone and are really good girls. It's like you want younger women as well, so it's like that whole predator vibe. So
what if I said women are stupid, can't make money, short, and weak because they want a guy that makes more money than them, taller than them, more confident, ambitious, etc.? That would be ludicrous, wouldn't it? We don't shame female preferences. Okay? When a woman says, I want a man that's tall, makes money, etc., you go, girl, you deserve it. That's your preferences. If I say, I want a girl that's not a hoe, that has some sexual temperance, isn't going to embarrass me when I walk in a room, beautiful, young, etc. That's considered, oh, that's toxic and masculine. We demonize male preferences, but we don't demonize female preferences.
For a lot of men, this whole evolving roles thing feels like getting tossed into a game with no rule book. Gender norms have gone from crystal clear to figure it out yourself, and it's leaving guys thinking, so what am I supposed to be now? The old school roles of being the breadwinner, protector, or leader in the house. Yeah, those are apparently optional now. Women are out here saying they don't need a man for that anymore, and men are like, well, then what the hell's my job? And here's where it gets tricky. When guys don't feel needed in those traditional ways, it's like their purpose just evaporates. If you've been told your whole life that your worth is tied to being the provider and protector, but now you're being told, nah, we got this, it can mess with your head. It's no wonder some men feel lost or straight up inadequate, like, am I even relevant in this relationship anymore?
Let me just get the door for you.
Okay.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you? Look, you're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Boyfriend, so.
Wait, ex-boyfriend?
Yo.
She calls us friends, but I don't consider us friends.
What do you guys consider each other?
Technically still figuring it out, but I'm the one she calls when she needs to cry. I've tried.
It's a work in progress.
It's
So is everything.
It's one work in progress.
So you guys are just trying to work on things?
See how it goes.
I'm trying to work on things.
If he gave you a guilt-free pass to sleep with anybody in the world, would you use it?
Yeah.
On who?
Zac Efron, Josh Bowman, some celebrity, hot celebrity. You turn that down? Couldn't do it.
All right, what if it was all the way around?
I know what I'm worth. One night with one celebrity doesn't change who I am.
So you wouldn't use it?
Even
There's
if I
no
gave
point.
it to you?
No, because it sounds like a trap. If your significant other is willing to give you a one night stand with anybody in the world, it sounds like a trap for your loyalty. Fuck that.
While modern feminism is out here shouting equality and breaking down every gender role like it's the enemy, some men are feeling like they've been left in the dust. They're like, wait a second, what about us, the roles that used to give men purpose, like being the protector or provider, are getting tossed out, and now men are wondering where they fit in this new evolved world. It's like showing up to a football game and finding out it's suddenly a game of chess, different rules, no playbook, and somehow you're the pawn. These guys are saying, sure, we get it, women want independence. But how are we supposed to balance that with the old school partnership dynamic? It's like trying to be both Superman and the guy who lets her open her own pickle jar. Nobody knows which one's the right move anymore. The result? A lot of frustrated dudes and women who are just as confused, sparking this endless back and forth on how the hell we're supposed to navigate relationships now.
So last night I ended things with a guy that in one of my previous videos I had referred to as the most intentional man I've ever spoken to. It really does suck because he truly is amazing, has a lot of the things I'm looking for in a person, but we hung out like 6 or 7 times and I just wasn't feeling it. And it's just really a shame because he really is a great guy. If he had asked me for more details, I really don't know that I would have been able to give him many besides that shame, but there's really nothing you can do. It's just the name of the game.
I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect you, Miles. I'll forever honor you, Miles, as the head of our home. In heaven, they hear. On earth, I declare and decree. I shall be a submissive wife unto you.
I don't know about you, but I know what.
I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect
The difference between these two women.
For better. For better.
For worse.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poorer.
For poorer.
We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Real made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
A lot of men these days feel like modern women have turned the dial up on entitlement, demands, and being downright impossible to please. It's like women went from I want a loving, supportive partner to I want a man who's a billionaire, with a six-pack, emotional intelligence, and who can also cook Michelin star meals while reading my mind. And yeah, this isn't just some random guy's experience. Media keeps fueling this with all the boss babe narratives and strong independent woman who don't need no man slogans. Guys are out here like, what happened to realistic expectations? It's like modern dating turned into a never-ending episode of The Bachelor, where women have a checklist longer than a grocery receipt. And if you don't tick every box, you're out. No wonder men are feeling like they can't win because, frankly, they're playing a game where the goalposts keep moving.
I would go to these frat parties, I would guys, whatever. There was this one night though, and I was like, hey, you know, I talked to them all individually. I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna just be waiting in this closet. I don't even care about the party. I'm gonna be waiting in this closet. It's their laundry room, and just like come in whenever and f me. Like I'll just sit here and be like a human doll basically.
So anyone, you didn't care who?
No, I didn't. I was like, just I'll be in this closet. Like come fuck me if you want. If you get home. I was on birth control. I let them all come at me.
Huh? She belongs to the streets.
Something is wrong with you!
So what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of all divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly?
Now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
Did I ask you to wash the dishes?
Man, I come from Jamaica for wash dishes and wash car. I come from Jamaica for make money.
Yeah? Well, I'm working, and I asked you to wash the dishes. Were you still interested in your green card?
Yeah, babes, man, I do wash your plate them right now.
Yeah. That's what I thought. And wash my car when you're done too.
Okay, babe.
When you make your claims or you shoot your shots and a woman comes down and she marries you without even trying to get to know you, you're saying to yourself, I hit the jackpot. But sometimes you didn't hit the jackpot. What you're going to find when you finally arrive wherever foreign country you want to be at is that a lot of you are going to be married to people who are mentally ill. Now, not to be disrespectful or anything, but in our country they'll say mad. So you marry a woman, and when you're in Jamaica, you're on your best behavior, or she's on her best behavior until you reach. And some of you, after you arrive in these foreign countries, you wish that you had stayed in Jamaica and suffered because the hell they put you through. So here's what I'm saying to you. If you're going to go on these impromptu, marital agreements, please know that when you go to foreign, you have to be prepared to walk some dogs. You have to be prepared to wash some underwear. Now, Jamaican men, that's not to say that they won't do these things for their partner, but they don't want to be forced to do it. And a lot of men, when they arrive, they realize that they have to sleep in the same bed with dogs. So a lot of men, after they go through the immigration process and they arrive and they're so excited when they come, they stumble upon what appears to be prison.
Green Card Bros.
Men need to wake up to a cold, hard truth. Modern women often display behaviors that leave you thinking, is this real life or am I stuck in some soap opera that's saying she's not yours? It's just your turn hits home for a lot of guys because let's face it. Women are initiating divorce at a staggering 80% rate. It's like the moment things get tough, they're out the door. And that old saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife? Yeah. There's a reason that's been around for centuries. It's because too many men have lived through the heartbreak of trying. Ask any guy who's been blindsided by betrayal. It's gut-wrenching. You think you found the one. And then bam, you find out she's been entertaining side dudes like it's no big deal. Men are out here pouring their heart and soul into relationships, only to have their trust shattered without a second thought. She cheats, breaks hearts, and moves on like it's Tuesday, while the guy is left picking up the pieces, wondering where it all went wrong.
Imagine thinking that it was a bad thing, by the way, for a man to say that it's their job to take care of women. Remember when that was noble? You remember? I don't remember. When the Titanic was sinking, I don't remember all the women complaining that they were on the boats first with the children. No. Were they like, no, I'm staying here. Men, you take the boats. I've got this. No, because that would be weird. That would make no sense, right? And now we're warped, right? So this now we've been programmed as women to think that when a man says it's my job to take care of a woman, you're supposed to be offended by that. Instead of saying to yourself, well, that's a fundamentally decent man that thinks that's his job and is going to work his butt off to make that happen. Warped society. Don't play the game.
I just watched a video of a girl where she said that she got very humbled because she went on a date with a guy, and she said on the text messages he was very flirty. In real life, when they met, he wasn't as forward, and that the date went really well. She said they were out for 2 hours, they went for a walk, they went for a coffee, and then she said she bluntly just asked him, why is he more flirty on text messages than he is in real life? He then humbles her and he says, I think you're a very pretty girl, however, you do look a little bit different than your pictures. That's my opinion now, but I have enjoyed our date, but I do think it's more of a friendly vibe. All the comments are roasting this guy, being like, oh, but he's a walking red flag, you dodged a bullet there, and all this, right? I don't see anything wrong in what he's done. He's been very polite about it. He's went on the date with you, and you've asked him a question, and he's told you the truth. But because it's an answer that you don't want to hear, you then come to TikTok for loads of people to then roast this guy. When, fair enough, you haven't put a picture of him up, thank God, but he's done the right thing. Some guys, I've heard stories where they'll meet up with someone and they'll leave them in a bar or a restaurant. Some people I know have driven off from people when they've just been stood there waiting. That's the wrong way to deal with it. How this guy handled it, I think, was correct, in my opinion. And I know this because I once used to use a lot of filters on dating apps, and when I met up with a guy once, you could tell he was not interested at all. And then he'd text me and he was like, I think you look a little bit different in your pictures. I was humbled. I never used proper full-on filters ever again. I might use like a smoother filter or a tan filter, but I never used one that made me look like a completely different person because I was humbled. And how that guy done it and how this guy done it was perfectly correct. So I don't know why, I just don't get with the comments why women are so against when people tell the truth.
They catfish guys and then get angry when the guy doesn't want to see them again because they don't look the same as they did in their pictures.
It's downright shocking how quickly loyalty and commitment can get tossed aside like last week's leftovers. 1 minute, you're building a life together, and the next, someone's swiping left on your relationship without a second thought. These actions are not just heartbreakers, they're family value assassins, leaving a trail of shattered trust and broken hearts in their wake. Men are left questioning the integrity and character of their partners, thinking, How did I end up here? This disillusionment with modern relationships is one of the major reasons the MGTOW men going their own way movement has exploded. Men are saying, enough is enough. They're out here seeking refuge from the emotional devastation that comes from playing a game where the rules change at a moment's notice. Why would any man risk his heart and future on a relationship that could crumble at any moment? Instead, they're choosing to focus on themselves.
I don't know if I'm just making this up or if it's just my intuition, but I have this feeling that the guy I'm seeing at the moment, he's getting off and having his little ego stroked by the fact that his housemates have heard us. I don't know if it's legit or not, but there's just some things that I'm just questioning. Like, he never tells me if there's other people in the house, and he never tells me to keep it down or anything like that. And when I ask, are there people here? He'll say no at times, but then there are. And then when we go downstairs, they kind of make these weird eye contact with each other and they're like, And it's a very boy club because it's a bunch of dudes living in a house together. And he seems insecure, like it seems like it's like an ego thing, but I'm not too sure. But it's weird and I don't know.
Love comes to you when you least expect it. Shut up. I have been trying to not expect it for like 6 years. And also, I was speaking to my friend the other day and she was like, well, like, are you like trying to like go out of your way to meet people? I'm like, no, because people are fucking telling me that it comes when you least expect it. So here I am like trying to convince myself I don't want it and I'm just not expecting it so I can get it and it's not happening. But then even when I go out of my way to like go on dating apps, it just never works because these people that I'm meeting aren't my cup of tea, are not wanting what I want. They just want a casual thing. And like as someone who's never been in any kind of romantic entanglement, my first relationship is not gonna be a fucking casual relationship. And yeah, so like what one is it? Should I put myself out there or should I just pretend that I'm not like, oh, I don't want to?
The sexual liberation movement, a shiny badge of honor for modern feminism, has had some unexpected side effects like making a lot of men think that women are all about casual flings instead of long-term commitments. You've got guys out here wondering if swiping right means she's looking for love or just a weekend adventure. And let's be real. When women start prioritizing hookups over heartfelt connections, it's no surprise that men are rethinking their options. This shift leads many men to view women as less suited for serious partnerships. Why would a guy invest his time and energy into a relationship when the vibe feels more like Netflix and chill than let's build a future together? Trying to get a commitment from a girl who's more interested in her next night out than her next anniversary. This perception has left a lot of men feeling like they're chasing ghosts, and when the stakes are high, they're less likely to put their hearts on the line for someone who might not be in it for the long haul.
People meet people nowadays. Being a single gal in a single world, where do I go if I don't want to go on dating apps? Like, I don't like dating apps. I've had them. I've tried them. I get disappointed. I get discouraged. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Dating apps, if you're going to think this person is attractive, you're probably going to swipe yes. And if you don't find them attractive, you're going to swipe no. But sometimes people just aren't photogenic. They just don't present themselves well through photos. That's why I just feel like it's so much better to meet people in person. Also, just like with having dating apps, like it just feels forced. And I don't want it to feel forced. I want to like go out in public, meet someone like in the wild, both just happen to bump into each other and you're like, and then, you know, sparks fly. I just want to know where. Like, where do the single men go? Where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Like, if you're in the garage, like, come out. Like, are you at the lake? Are you snowmobiling? Are you fishing? It's wintertime. What are you doing right now? It's funny. How am I this amazing? Like, and single? Like, are you kidding me? And like, for the longest time, I just like wasn't worried about it. At this point, I'm like, I'm 31. What is happening? Like, is there just no one left? Put me on a dating show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I don't even care. Just put me somewhere so I can actually like interact with the male race. I'm not interacting with males.
All right, brothers, we've faced some harsh truths today. But remember this, you are not alone in this fight. We're building a brotherhood here, a fortress of strength and resilience.
If you felt the sting of betrayal, the weight of manipulation, know that together we'll rise above it.
This isn't just a channel, it's a movement.
a movement of men who refuse to be victims of modern dating games.
Hit that subscribe button, join the brotherhood, and let's reclaim our power.
Share your stories, support each other, and let's create a legacy of strength.
Together, we will break the cycle.